separating myth from reality. This is especially true when it comes to alleged ancient weapons. Take the famous death ray, a supposed energy weapon that supposedly killed from miles away. Proponents claim it was known to the ancient Greeks and used by Archimedes to burn and incinerate whole fleets of ships. However, this story seems to have originated from a misreading of a single ancient account that has been heavily embellished over time. In reality, Archimedes may have simply used mirrors to focus sunlight onto enemy ships, causing them to catch fire. But there's no evidence that he developed any sort of actual death ray. Tesla claimed to have invented a similar device that could destroy entire worlds from miles away. Yet his notes and patents contain nothing about such a weapon, leaving its existence up to speculation. Nikola Tesla was a genius, but his inventions were firmly rooted in science. He did not claim to have invented a world-destroying beam of energy, Vimana. Across the world, ancient Indian texts describe flying craft called Vimanas that some believe were sophisticated flying machines capable of being weapons of war. However, these accounts are considered by most scholars to be mythological rather than historical, and no archaeological evidence has ever surfaced to support their existence. Greek fire. One legendary weapon that did exist was the Greek fire used by the Byzantine army around 670 AD. This was a liquid substance that when catapulted onto enemy ships burst into flames. Its formula remains a mystery, but its reputation as an unstoppable fire-breathing monster is a bit of an exaggeration. While effective, Greek fire was not the invincible flamethrower that some have made it out to be. Its range was limited and it required skilled soldiers to operate it properly, the Ark of the Covenant. Another allegedly powerful lost weapon is the Ark of the Covenant, a golden chest said to have contained the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. Some believe it was a divine energy weapon that God used to defeat the Egyptians during the Exodus, but this is not supported by the biblical text. It is a relatively new theory popularized by authors and filmmakers seeking to add a fantastical element to the story. The Chinese fire lance. Similar to the Greek fire, the Chinese used a variety of incendiary weapons throughout history. One such weapon was the fire lance, a bamboo tube filled with gunpowder and projectiles. It was used as early as the 9th century, making it one of the earliest forms of a flamethrower. But many stories exaggerate its capabilities and confuse it with modern firearms. Some legends claim it could shoot fireballs the size of houses, which is a gross exaggeration. Atlantis. The lost civilization of Atlantis has captured the imagination of people for centuries. Some believe that the Atlanteans possessed advanced technology, including things like lasers and nukes. However, there's no evidence to support these claims. They come from pseudo-archaeologists who ignore mainstream scholarship in favor of sensationalism. Why do these legends persist? Despite a lack of evidence, these legends persist because they combine mystery, nationalism, and the human fascination with secret power. Stories of lost weapons feed our desire to uncover hidden truths, and they allow us to imagine ancient civilizations or geniuses like Nikola Tesla as more powerful than we are. Real lost weapons. The truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. There are examples of real weapons that have been lost to history only to be rediscovered in recent times. For example, the Romans used a type of concrete that was so durable it has survived for centuries. But the recipe for this concrete was lost during the fall of the empire. It wasn't until the 18th century that scientists rediscovered how to make it. Another example is the legendary Damascus steel, prized for its strength and flexibility. It was used to make swords and other weapons during the Middle Ages, but the process for creating this steel was lost after the Mongol invasion of Damascus in 1260. It was until the 19th century that British metallurgists figured out how to reproduce it. Historical lesson: the truth is that many of the weapons used in ancient warfare were quite brutal and clever, but none were quite as advanced or futuristic as some of the legends would have us believe. The so-called lost weapons of war are more myth than reality, revealing more about our own imaginations than about actual ancient technology. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. See you next time.